For y'all tuning in, y'all ain't too early, y'all ain't too late. Shit, I got plenty time on my hands. I'm gonna let y'all know a little bit about what I do and how I did this shit. So growing up, I went through a phase in my life where everything seemed like a dream. You know what I'm saying? But it was real, cause I couldn't feel it. I couldn't feel my emotions until it was time to feel my emotions. I was only about 6 when I started, feeling changes in my mind, and then how I took control of situations, and how, I took care of myself and developed as a kid. I changed. So at 6, I started, feeling different and sleeping different, and I went to my mom and I told her, like, Mom, I'm changing, I think I have schizophrenia. She said, no, you don't. I said, yes, I do, Mom. It's real. It's going to take effect to me in a year. I won't be able to, handle myself, and, I'll have these feelings and my mind will tend to drift off sometimes. I told her that. Okay, by the time I was 7, well, let's go back to 6. I was 6 years old, and I told my mom one day, I have an idea for an app, and I told her I was going to make Facebook. I told her exactly what it was, and I told her what it was going to be and how I was going to do it. And she said, okay. I wrote it down for her on a piece of paper in crayon. I wrote it down. She never mistaked it for me, thinking too highly, or, thinking out of the nature of me being a kid. She never took it as me just being, difficult as a kid. But yeah, I turned 7. My uncle came by the house. I told him, like, I want to make music. You know what I'm saying? I want to make music, and I want to make an app. And he said, we'll give it a chance. We'll come back over and we'll see what you want to do, and we'll take a chance. He came over with a studio. Him and his homeboy, they came over with the studio. And the first song, Poetic Justice, Swimming Pools, it's just one after another. Kendrick Lamar's music, one after another. I'm laying them down. So they said, no, this is too much. This is too good. So I made a couple mixtapes for myself, and they took it to a producer. They took it to a producer down in Texas. I ain't gonna say who, because I'm not 100% sure. I do go through phases in my life where I forget, and I have to take time to get myself together to explain this shit like I'm doing right now, explaining it. Shit. But yeah, I did that. Next thing you know, after, a week of laying down, tracks, and I finished Kendrick Lamar's album Good Kid, Mad City. I did a few other albums, from people that were dropping in the 90s, the late 90s. I ain't do too many, but I did enough. I did over 100 albums for people in the late 90s. But, yeah, man. By 8 years old, I was developing my webpage. But after I finished my webpage, after I laid the outline and all that shit, and I figured out what I needed to write down, and I got that published, and, they sent me a paperback with my information, my name on it, Facebook logo, signatures from other people that, I'm working with. It was a business, so we figured out that side of things, and shit, I had to make shit happen. Next came Google, next came YouTube, Instagram, all that shit. I was making so many things at once. It was like I never had time to stop. You know, I was sick. I had childhood schizophrenia. I never had time to stop. If I ever stopped, it's because I had to go to school or, you know, I was at a family reunion or something. But anytime other than that, I was working day and night, at least 10 hours, more than 10 hours a day. From the time I got out of school to about 10 o'clock at night. And then we call it a night. But I'm gonna let y'all know this is part one. I'm gonna let y'all know part two. Part two is gonna go a little bit deeper into the facts about, you know, about how I met people and how people used to, you know, bring themselves around me and learn from me personally, talk to me and soak up a little bit of the wisdom I had. Part two coming soon.